Absolutely, of your speech, written in a seamless, conversational style as if delivered by a speaker like Dr. Yasir Qadhi. Have you ever felt that no one truly understands the weight you are carrying? That even when you smile, even when you act as if everything is fine, deep down inside, there is a heaviness, a burden that seems too big to bear. Maybe it's stress from work, or pressure from your family, or a mistake that haunts you. Maybe it's a heartache that refuses to heal, a fear that keeps you awake at night, or a dream that feels just out of reach. We all carry burdens, some visible, some invisible, but the truth is, every single one of us has them, and sometimes these burdens make us feel isolated, like we are completely alone in our struggle. But I want to tell you something tonight, something that can change the way you see your life and your challenges. Allah, the one who created the heavens and the earth, is intimately aware of every burden you carry. He knows, he sees, he feels the heaviness in your heart even when no one else does. It's easy to think that our struggles are private, personal, even secret, hidden from the world. But there is a profound reassurance in knowing that nothing is hidden from Allah. Every worry, every sigh, every tear that falls in the quiet of the night, He is aware of it. This is not just some abstract idea. It is a living reality. There is a divine awareness that watches over us, a consciousness that understands the depth of our trials without judgment. And this awareness is comforting because it reminds us that we are not alone, even when life makes us feel like we are. Think for a moment about the burdens you carry. Perhaps it is financial difficulty. Perhaps it is illness. Perhaps it is loneliness or fear or guilt. And maybe sometimes you feel that you've tried everything. Plans, strategies, advice from others. But nothing seems to change. It is in these moments that the words of Allah bring clarity. He knows, He sees, He is aware of your every effort, your every struggle. And the beautiful part is, He doesn't just know to observe, He knows to respond. The one who knows the burden is the one who can lift it, the one who can provide relief in ways that you may not even imagine. But this awareness also requires us to reflect on ourselves. If Allah knows every burden, then there is a call here for us to trust Him, not passively, but actively. It's not about giving up or saying, Allah will take care of it, and then doing nothing. It's about recognizing that our efforts, no matter how small, are seen, and that our perseverance is acknowledged. Imagine carrying a heavy load and someone watching you, not to judge, not to criticize, but simply to understand, to recognize the strain you are under. That recognition alone gives strength, because it validates your struggle. Allah's awareness is even greater than that. He knows, and His awareness is coupled with mercy, guidance, and support. Many times, people believe that their burdens are too big, that they are too heavy for anyone to help, even for Allah. But consider this. If He created the universe, the galaxies, the stars that span across unimaginable distances, do you really think your burden is too much for Him? When we internalize this truth, it changes our perspective. We begin to see that no matter how heavy our hearts may feel, no matter how endless our worries seem, there is one who is infinitely capable of lifting, easing, and guiding us through. This realization does not always remove the burden immediately, but it gives hope. And hope is powerful. It changes the way we act, the way we breathe, the way we live. Now some of us may wonder, if Allah knows my burden, why hasn't He removed it yet? This is a question that comes from the heart of every human being at some point. And the answer lies in understanding the wisdom behind divine timing. Sometimes burdens are not only tests, they are also opportunities for growth. The recognition that Allah is aware of our struggles allows us to face them with resilience. It encourages patience, self-reflection, and a deeper connection with our Creator. When we know that He sees every tear, every moment of weakness, every struggle, it helps us to keep moving forward, even when it seems impossible. Think about the moments when you felt completely overwhelmed. Perhaps there were times when you felt you could not continue. In those moments, what gave you strength to carry on? Often, it is the knowledge that you are not truly alone, that there is a greater awareness watching over you. Allah's awareness is not distant or detached. It is intimate. He understands the depth of your pain, and He knows exactly what you need. Sometimes relief comes quickly. Other times it comes slowly, in ways that teach patience, resilience, and reliance on Him. But the awareness is constant, and it is perfect. There is a lesson here about perspective. We often focus on the burden itself, on the heaviness, on the difficulty, on the pain. But if we shift our focus to the one who knows the burden, everything changes. The weight does not disappear immediately, but it becomes bearable because it is being carried in partnership with the divine. Imagine trying to carry a heavy load alone, and then realizing that the one who knows the weight is also ready to help you carry it. It transforms the experience. You are still human, you still struggle, but you are no longer alone. This understanding should also inspire gratitude. Gratitude may seem counterintuitive when we are burdened, but it is precisely in these moments that recognizing Allah's awareness brings comfort. Gratitude is not just about acknowledging the good. It is about recognizing the support, the guidance, and the mercy that surround us, even in hardship. When we thank Allah for seeing our burdens, for being aware of our struggles, and for providing a path through them, we cultivate strength, resilience, and hope. And this is where discipline meets reliance. The burdens of life require effort on our part. They require us to act, to persist, and to strive. But knowing that Allah sees every effort, every struggle, every ounce of energy we expend, encourages us to continue, even when it is difficult. Our struggles are not unnoticed. Our burdens are not meaningless, and our efforts, no matter how small, are valued. This combination of personal effort and divine awareness creates a powerful dynamic that transforms despair into hope, weakness into strength, and fear into courage. So tonight, I want you to leave this thought with you. Whatever you are carrying, Allah knows it. Every struggle, every tear, every moment of despair is seen, understood, and acknowledged by Him. You are never alone. And when we internalize this, when we truly live with the awareness that the Creator of the universe knows our hearts, our burdens, and our struggles, it changes everything. It gives us courage to act, patience to endure, and hope to continue. Your burdens are not too heavy for Him, and your struggles are not invisible to Him. And that is the beginning of relief. The recognition that Allah is watching, aware, and ready to lift every burden. If we allow ourselves to trust Him and act with the discipline He inspires in us. Entire speech has a seamless 6-point flow, each around 1,200 words. This will give you a full, ready-to-deliver motivational speech. Do you want me to proceed with that? Many of us walk through life feeling tired. We tell ourselves, I'm exhausted, I can't go on, or I need a break. And sometimes we genuinely are physically drained, but if we take a closer look, most of the time, the exhaustion we feel is not purely physical. It is the result of a lack of discipline, not a lack of ability. Think about it. How often do we procrastinate, delay, or avoid the very tasks that could move our lives forward, and then wonder why we feel so burdened, so worn out? True success, true progress, is not about avoiding effort or pretending that life isn't hard. It is about creating the inner structure and discipline that allows us to rise above fatigue and accomplish what others may think is impossible. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Without it, even the most brilliant ideas, the noblest intentions, or the deepest desires remain trapped inside us, like seeds that never sprout. Many people confuse their lack of results with their lack of talent or resources, but the reality is often much simpler. They are not disciplined. They lack the consistent habits, the structured effort, the daily commitment required to turn potential into reality. This is not an indictment. It is an observation, a truth that can set us free once we acknowledge it. Consider the idea of energy. We often think, "I don't have the energy to do this," as if energy is a finite resource that can be exhausted. But discipline changes that. Discipline creates energy. It channels our focus, organizes our actions, and eliminates wasted effort. When we act with consistency, when we follow a plan, when we commit to doing what needs to be done even when we don't feel like it, we unlock a power within us that far surpasses mere physical stamina. We begin to realize that tired is often just a temporary state, a feeling that can be overcome with structure and purpose. Think about your daily routines. How often do we drift through tasks without a clear plan, allowing distractions to steal our focus, and then complain that we are too exhausted to move forward? This is the difference between being tired and being undisciplined. Discipline is not about punishment. It is about prioritization. It is about creating a rhythm in your life that aligns with your goals, your values, and your purpose. When you live with discipline, every day has meaning, every action has intention, and fatigue becomes a signal, not a barrier. It tells you that you need to recalibrate, not that you need to surrender. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is that it trains the mind and the body to perform at their best, even when circumstances are not perfect. Life will always present obstacles. There will always be moments when you feel tired, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. Discipline is what allows you to move forward in spite of these obstacles. It is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Those who succeed are not necessarily more talented or more fortunate. They are simply more disciplined. They have learned to act even when they don't feel like it, to persist even when the path is steep, and to focus on the long-term reward rather than the immediate comfort of giving in to fatigue. This does not mean that rest is unimportant. Rest is crucial. The problem is not rest itself, but the misuse of rest as an excuse. We say, "I need to rest," when we are really saying, "I am avoiding effort." Discipline teaches us to distinguish between genuine physical need and the temptation to avoid responsibility. When you cultivate discipline, you learn to work efficiently, to manage your time wisely, and to prioritize actions that have the greatest impact. You learn that true rest is earned through effort and focus, and that avoidance only deepens the sense of fatigue over time. Another key aspect of discipline is accountability. To be disciplined means to hold yourself responsible for your choices, for your actions, and for your outcomes. When you blame tiredness, circumstances, or other people for your lack of progress, you relinquish your power. But when you accept that your level of discipline determines your level of success, you reclaim control. You realize that your destiny is not defined by temporary feelings of fatigue, but by consistent choices, intentional habits, and a willingness to persist. And once you embrace this mindset, life changes dramatically. The burdens that once seemed insurmountable shrink because you are no longer at the mercy of fleeting emotions. You act even when you don't feel like it because your discipline fuels your persistence. We must also understand that discipline is not a one-time act, it is a lifestyle. It is not about pushing yourself for one day, 1 week, or one project, and then collapsing afterward. It is about creating a pattern of behavior that becomes ingrained in who you are. It is about making small, deliberate choices every day that align with your larger purpose. The accumulation of these choices over time produces results that feel almost miraculous. And the beauty of discipline is that it compounds. Each day you act with consistency, your energy grows, your focus sharpens, and your ability to overcome challenges strengthens. What once felt impossible becomes achievable. What once felt exhausting becomes manageable. Many people make the mistake of believing that motivation alone will carry them. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, depending on mood, circumstance, or external stimulus. Discipline, on the other hand, is consistent. It does not rely on emotion or fleeting inspiration. It is a choice you make over and over again, regardless of how you feel. When you cultivate discipline, you create an internal engine that keeps you moving forward even when motivation fades. This is what separates those who complain of exhaustion from those who transform their lives despite fatigue. Consider also the spiritual dimension of discipline. When we talk about discipline in the context of faith and trust in Allah, it is not merely a personal tool. It is an act of responsibility and devotion. Allah has blessed us with time, energy, and resources, and discipline is the vehicle through which we honor those blessings. When we act with structure, purpose, and consistency, we align ourselves with the principles of accountability, excellence, and perseverance. Discipline becomes more than a habit. It becomes a form of worship, a way of demonstrating gratitude and commitment to the life we have been given. Finally, let us remember that the feeling of tiredness is temporary, but the impact of disciplined action is lasting. Every step you take with intention, every moment you push yourself to persist, every choice you make to prioritize what matters most, builds momentum. It strengthens your character, sharpens your focus, and moves you closer to your goals. When you begin to act with discipline, you begin to see results not just in your external circumstances, but in your internal strength, resilience, and confidence. You realize that you were never truly powerless. You were simply undisciplined. So tonight, I want to leave you with this thought. You are not tired. What you are experiencing is a call to awaken your discipline. Your body and mind are capable of far more than you give them credit for, but they require direction, structure, and consistency. When you embrace discipline as a way of life, fatigue loses its power over you. You begin to move with purpose, act with intention, and live with resilience. And in that realization, you find freedom, strength, and the ability to rise above every challenge that life places before you. Full speech, aligned, and seamless. So we are building a complete 6-point motivational speech. Do you want me to continue with key point 3? Here's a fully expanded ** 1,200 word segment ** for ** key point 3 ** of your speech, written in a seamless, conversational style as if delivered by a speaker like Dr. Yasir Qadhi. Trust is a word that is easy to say, but often very hard to truly live. We all talk about putting our trust in Allah, about relying on Him to guide our lives, to lift our burdens, and to help us navigate the storms we face. And yet, how often do we stop to reflect on what it really means to trust while also taking action? Because here is a truth that many people miss. Trust in Allah is not a substitute for effort. It is the foundation that makes our effort meaningful. Without trust, our actions can become aimless, anxious, and heavy with fear. With trust, even the smallest steps carry immense power, because we are walking in alignment with the one who knows what is best for us, even when we cannot see it ourselves. Think for a moment about your own life. How often have you faced a situation where you felt completely overwhelmed, unsure of what to do, and desperate for guidance? It is in these moments that true trust is tested. Trust does not mean sitting idly and waiting for things to happen. It means stepping forward, even when the path is unclear, believing that Allah sees what you cannot see, that He knows the outcome even when you do not, and that He is guiding you through every step. When you trust Him, your actions are no longer driven by fear or uncertainty. They are driven by faith, discipline, and purpose. This is where discipline and trust intersect. You cannot have one without the other if you want to truly rise above life's challenges. Discipline gives you the structure, the habits, and the consistency needed to move forward, even when the weight of the world feels unbearable. Trust gives you the reassurance that your efforts are not in vain, that they are part of a larger plan, and that Allah is watching over every detail of your journey. One without the other leads either to frantic effort without direction or passive waiting without progress. Together, they create a force that allows you to overcome what once seemed impossible. Consider the story of someone striving to achieve a goal. Maybe they are pursuing a dream, seeking to overcome a personal challenge, or trying to improve themselves in some meaningful way. Without trust, they may work tirelessly but remain anxious, doubting whether their effort will ever pay off. They may give up when results do not appear immediately, or they may become frustrated when setbacks occur. With trust, the same effort takes on a completely different quality. They continue working, but their heart is calm, their focus is sharp, and their perseverance is sustained by the belief that Allah sees their struggle and will guide them through it. It is also important to understand that trust is not a passive belief that everything will simply fall into place. It is an active, conscious choice to align yourself with Allah's wisdom while taking responsibility for your actions. It means that when you face difficulties, you do not blame chance, fate, or others for your circumstances. Instead, you recognize that Allah has placed these challenges in your life for a reason, and you take disciplined action to respond to them, trusting that He will provide the support, timing, and outcome that is best for you. This combination of trust and action is transformative. It allows you to move with confidence, resilience, and clarity, even when life feels uncertain or overwhelming. Another way to understand this is to think about the burdens we carry. Every human being faces difficulties, some visible, some invisible. Some of these challenges test our patience, some test our strength, and some test our faith. But when we trust Allah while acting with discipline, these burdens begin to change. They are no longer simply obstacles to our success. They become opportunities for growth, for refinement, and for spiritual development. Each challenge becomes a reminder that we are not alone, that our efforts are seen, and that relief will come at the right time. Trust does not always remove the difficulty, but it transforms how we experience it. We must also remember that trust requires patience. Patience is not simply waiting. It is an active endurance, a conscious choice to remain steadfast in your effort while knowing that Allah's timing is perfect. When we act with discipline but lack patience, we become frustrated, anxious, and discouraged. When we trust but refuse to act, we become passive, stagnant, and vulnerable to despair. The true power lies in combining both, taking deliberate, disciplined action while placing full trust in Allah's plan. This dual approach allows us to navigate life with a sense of purpose, even when the road is long and difficult. Consider the moments in your life when things did not go as planned. Perhaps you worked tirelessly, only to face setbacks, failures, or delays. Without trust, these experiences can feel devastating, as if the universe is against you. But with trust, you begin to see these moments differently. You recognize that Allah knows what you do not, that there is a wisdom behind every challenge, and that your perseverance is never wasted. Trust allows you to move forward with courage and clarity, even when the outcome is uncertain, because you understand that your effort is part of a larger design that you may not yet comprehend. It is also worth noting that trust and discipline reinforce one another. When you take disciplined action, your trust deepens because you witness the results of your effort combined with Allah's guidance. When you trust Allah, your discipline is strengthened because you are no longer acting out of fear, doubt, or despair. You are acting from faith, clarity, and purpose. Together, these qualities create a feedback loop that propels you forward. Each step you take becomes more confident, each effort more effective, and each challenge more manageable. Many people struggle with the concept of trust because they expect instant results. They want relief, success, or change to happen immediately, and when it does not, they question whether Allah is truly aware or whether their efforts are in vain. But trust is cultivated over time. It is strengthened through experience, reflection, and patience. Every challenge you face, every burden you carry, every obstacle you overcome while relying on Allah strengthens your trust. And as your trust grows, so does your ability to act with discipline, courage, and perseverance. Ultimately, the combination of trust and disciplined action allows us to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. It frees us from the paralyzing fear of failure, the constant anxiety over circumstances, and the endless frustration of unmet expectations. It allows us to embrace our responsibilities, confront our challenges, and navigate life with confidence, knowing that Allah sees every effort, knows every burden, and will guide us to what is best. Trust does not remove hardship, but it transforms how we experience it. Discipline does not guarantee instant success, but it ensures that we are moving forward with intention and purpose. Together, they create a life that is resilient, empowered, and aligned with the wisdom of Allah. So tonight, I want you to remember this. Trust in Allah while acting with discipline is not just a concept. It is a way of life. It is the key to lifting burdens, overcoming obstacles, and achieving what may have once seemed impossible. Your actions matter, your effort matters, and your discipline matters. And your trust in Allah ensures that these efforts are never wasted, that every step you take has purpose, and that every burden you carry will eventually be lightened in His wisdom and timing. Full 6-point speech framework, ensuring it flows naturally and builds momentum for maximum impact. Do you want me to continue with key point 4? Here's a fully expanded ** 1,200 word segment ** for ** key point 4 * of your speech, written in a seamless conversational style as if delivered by a speaker like Dr. Yasir Qadhi. When we think about success, growth, or overcoming the challenges in our lives, it's easy to focus on the big moments, the grand achievements, the dramatic breakthroughs, the instant transformations. We imagine that life changes in a single, monumental leap. But the truth, the reality that makes all the difference, is that real transformation rarely happens all at once. It happens in the small, consistent actions that we take every single day, even when no one is watching, even when progress feels invisible. Small, consistent actions are the seeds of change. They may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they multiply, they grow, and they lead to results that can feel almost miraculous. Consider this. A single drop of water may not seem powerful. One drop falls, hits the ground, and disappears. But when drops fall consistently over time, they carve rivers, shape landscapes, and can even cut through solid rock. The same principle applies to our lives. Each small effort you make, each disciplined action, each moment of focus and perseverance may feel tiny, even meaningless at first. You may not see immediate results. You may not feel that change is happening. But over time, these small actions compound, and suddenly you look back and realize that your life has been transformed in ways you never imagined. Consistency is the secret that turns ordinary actions into extraordinary results. Many people underestimate the power of showing up every day, doing the little things, and keeping their focus on what matters most. They wait for the perfect conditions, the perfect timing, or the perfect amount of motivation. But life rarely offers perfection. What life offers is the opportunity to take consistent action, even under imperfect circumstances. And it is this consistency, combined with trust in Allah, that multiplies effort and turns struggle into achievement. Now, think about the areas of your life that feel stagnant or overwhelming. Maybe it is a goal you have been putting off, a dream that seems too far away, or a habit you have been struggling to change. The key is not to focus on completing everything at once. The key is to start small, to do what you can consistently every day, one step at a time, one action at a time, one choice at a time. When you combine these small actions over days, weeks, months, and years, the results are astonishing. This is how discipline and consistency transform lives, by turning ordinary effort into extraordinary impact. Many of us become discouraged because we expect immediate results. We act for a day or a week, and see little to no change, and so we give up, thinking that our efforts are useless. But this is exactly where patience and persistence come into play. Allah has a wisdom behind timing, and the results of consistent action are often hidden at first. Growth takes time. Change takes time. The impact of our small actions accumulates quietly, often unnoticed, until one day we look back and realize that our lives have shifted profoundly. It is not the single, dramatic effort that creates transformation. It is the daily commitment to small, consistent actions that truly matters. Let me give you an example. Imagine a person who wants to get fit and healthy. They do not start by running a marathon on the first day or completely overhauling their diet overnight. They start with small steps, maybe a 10-minute walk each day, a single healthy meal, a little stretch in the morning. It feels minor at first. It feels insignificant. But if they continue these actions day after day, gradually increasing their effort, over time their body strengthens, their stamina increases, their health improves, and the results become visible. The small actions, repeated consistently, lead to a profound transformation. The same principle applies to every area of life: education, career, relationships, spiritual growth, personal development. Small, consistent actions are what lead to lasting change. Another aspect of this truth is understanding the importance of focus. Small actions are only effective when they are aligned with our goals and priorities. Consistency without focus can become mere repetition without progress. Discipline gives our actions direction, and trust in Allah ensures that we are working in alignment with a higher purpose. When we focus on what matters most and take consistent steps toward it, our efforts accumulate in ways that bring clarity, growth, and achievement. Even when the path feels long, even when the outcome seems distant, every action brings us closer to the life we are striving for. We must also recognize the role of patience in this process. Consistency requires patience because the results are not always immediate. It requires the faith to continue acting even when progress is not visible. But this patience is not passive. It is active, disciplined endurance. It is the willingness to keep showing up day after day, trusting that the effort you are investing is not wasted, trusting that Allah sees every small step you take and is guiding your path. Patience allows the small, consistent actions to accumulate, to compound, and to bear fruit in due time. Think about the times in your life when you have given up too soon. Perhaps you stopped learning a skill, pursuing a goal, or developing a habit because the results were not immediate. What if instead you had committed to small, consistent actions over time? The difference would have been remarkable. Life does not reward occasional effort. It rewards persistent, focused, and disciplined action. It is the repeated small steps, not the occasional grand gesture, that create lasting impact. And here is another important point. Small, consistent actions also build character. They teach discipline, resilience, and the value of effort. They train our minds and hearts to persevere, to resist shortcuts, and to stay committed to what truly matters. Every day that you choose to act with purpose, even in small ways, you are shaping not just your external circumstances, but also your internal strength. Your habits become your character, and your character determines your destiny. The small steps you take today, repeated consistently, are the foundation for the life you will live tomorrow. Many people underestimate the power of incremental progress because they are focused on instant success. But life's most meaningful achievements are rarely instant. They are the result of accumulated effort, guided by discipline and trust. It is in the repetition, the consistency, and the persistence that greatness is born. And it is in these small, often unseen actions that Allah rewards us, strengthens us, and prepares us for the larger opportunities that lie ahead. Finally, we must recognize that the combination of small, consistent actions with trust in Allah creates a profound sense of purpose. When we act with discipline, focus, and persistence, we align our efforts with our goals. When we trust Allah, we align our actions with divine wisdom. Together, this combination transforms effort into meaningful progress, struggle into growth, and small steps into extraordinary results. It reminds us that every action, no matter how minor it seems, has significance when it is done with intention, discipline, and trust. So tonight, I want you to take this thought with you. The power to change your life does not lie in grand gestures, fleeting motivation, or miraculous breakthroughs. It lies in the small, consistent actions you take every day. Every disciplined choice, every focused effort, every step forward, no matter how minor it seems, accumulates over time. And when these actions are coupled with trust in Allah, their impact multiplies, creating growth, transformation, and results that can change your life in ways you never imagined. Full speech aligned so that your 6-point speech is ready to deliver with maximum impact. Do you want me to continue with key point 5? Here's a fully expanded *** 1,200 word segment *** for *** key point 5 ** of your speech, written in a seamless, conversational style, as if delivered by a speaker like Dr. Yasir Qadhi. Life has a way of testing us, of challenging us, and of placing obstacles in our path that we never anticipated. We all face moments of struggle, times when it feels as if the weight of the world is pressing down on us, when the burdens we carry seem too heavy to bear. And in those moments, it is natural to ask, why me? Why now? Why is life so hard? But the truth is that struggle is not merely a burden to be endured. It is an opportunity, a chance to grow, to strengthen, and to deepen our character in ways that would be impossible if everything were easy. Pain and challenges, as difficult as they may be, are not meaningless. They are, in fact, some of the most profound tools for personal and spiritual growth that Allah gives us. When we face hardship, our first instinct is often to resist, to fight against it, to try to escape it. We want life to be smooth, predictable, and comfortable. But true growth does not come from comfort. It comes from struggle. Think about it. Every time you have faced a challenge, every time you have encountered a difficulty that tested your patience, your courage, or your faith, what did you learn? What strength did you discover within yourself that you never knew existed? It is through enduring difficulty, through confronting pain, and through overcoming obstacles that we develop resilience, wisdom, and an unshakable inner strength. The key is perspective. Pain is inevitable. Struggle is part of the human experience. But the way we interpret these experiences determines whether they break us or make us stronger. If we see challenges as meaningless, as punishment, or as random misfortune, we will feel despair, frustration, and hopelessness. But if we see them as opportunities for growth, as a chance to refine our character, and as a test that can elevate us spiritually, our entire experience changes. What once felt like a burden becomes a stepping stone, what once felt like a setback becomes a lesson, and what once felt like failure becomes preparation for future success. Consider the example of a student who faces repeated failure in their studies. It is easy for them to feel discouraged, to think that they lack ability, or that their efforts are wasted. But if they shift their perspective and see these struggles as opportunities to learn, to improve, and to develop discipline, their failure becomes a tool for growth. Each mistake teaches them a lesson. Each challenge strengthens their resolve, and over time, their persistence and learning allow them to achieve what once seemed impossible. This principle applies not just to academics, but to every aspect of life: career, relationships, personal development, and spirituality. Pain and struggle, when approached with the right mindset, are the catalysts for growth. One of the most important aspects of this is understanding that struggle develops character. When life is easy, we rarely need patience, resilience, or perseverance. But when life challenges us, when we are tested, we are forced to dig deep, to find strength we didn't know we had, and to develop qualities that shape us into better, wiser, and stronger individuals. Every trial, every hardship, every obstacle has the potential to teach us something valuable about ourselves and about the world. It is in the crucible of struggle that character is forged, and it is this character that ultimately determines our success, our happiness, and our fulfillment. Struggle also deepens our reliance on Allah. When life is smooth and easy, it is natural to feel self-sufficient, to believe that we can handle everything on our own. But when we are tested, when we face challenges that exceed our capacity, we are reminded that we are not alone. We are reminded to turn to Allah, to seek His guidance, and to trust in His wisdom and mercy. Struggle, in this sense, is not just a personal test. It is an opportunity to strengthen our relationship with our Creator, to develop humility, and to cultivate reliance on a power greater than ourselves. Another important lesson is that struggle teaches patience. Patience is not simply the ability to wait. It is the ability to endure difficulty with composure, faith, and perseverance. Life's challenges are rarely instant. They unfold over time, often in ways that test our endurance. The ability to remain steadfast, to continue acting with purpose and discipline, even in the face of adversity, is a skill that can only be developed through experience. Every challenge you endure, every hardship you face, and every burden you carry is an opportunity to cultivate patience. Patience that will serve you not just in the present, but throughout your entire life. We must also recognize that struggle often brings clarity. When life is easy, it is easy to become complacent, distracted, or focused on trivial matters. But when we are tested, when we face adversity, we are forced to examine our priorities, our values, and our actions. Struggle forces reflection, and reflection leads to understanding. We begin to see what truly matters, what is fleeting, and what is worth our time and effort. The challenges we face strip away the unnecessary, leaving us with focus, purpose, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship with Allah. It is also important to remember that every hardship carries a lesson. Sometimes the lesson is obvious. Sometimes it is hidden and only becomes clear over time. But the wisdom is always there, waiting for us to recognize it. Each struggle we endure, each pain we face, has the potential to teach us resilience, gratitude, empathy, and strength. By approaching hardship with this mindset, we transform suffering into opportunity, despair into hope, and weakness into strength. This perspective allows us to navigate life with courage and purpose, rather than fear and frustration. Moreover, struggle connects us to others in profound ways. When we face hardship, we develop empathy for those who are suffering. We become more compassionate, understanding, and supportive. Our struggles allow us to relate to the experiences of others, to offer guidance, comfort, and encouragement. In this way, our pain becomes not just a personal lesson, but a tool for serving others and creating positive impact in the world around us. Finally, we must remember that relief follows struggle. No hardship is permanent, no challenge is eternal. Allah, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, balances every trial with ease, every burden with support, and every difficulty with opportunity. Struggle is temporary, but the growth, character, and resilience that result from it are lasting. By embracing challenges, enduring hardships, and learning from pain, we prepare ourselves to receive the blessings, success, and fulfillment that follow. The key is to persevere, to trust Allah, and to view every challenge not as a punishment, but as a chance to grow, to strengthen, and to rise above. So tonight, I want you to understand this. Pain and struggle are not just obstacles in your life. They are opportunities. They are opportunities for growth, for resilience, for patience, and for deeper connection with Allah. They are opportunities to develop the character, wisdom, and strength that will allow you to rise above every challenge, to turn every difficulty into a stepping stone, and to emerge stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. Speech in the same style, so your entire speech is ready to deliver with maximum impact. Do you want me to continue with key point 6? Here's a fully expanded *** 1200 word segment *** for ** key point 6 ** of your speech, written in a seamless, conversational style as if delivered by a speaker like Dr. Yasir Qadhi. We all desire relief. We all long for success, for ease, for the lifting of the burdens that weigh on our hearts and minds. And yet, in the midst of life's trials, it is easy to forget a fundamental truth. Relief and success do not come to those who give up at the first sign of difficulty, nor do they come to those who wait passively, hoping that circumstances will magically improve. Relief and success come to those who are patient, to those who persevere, to those who combine trust in Allah with disciplined, persistent effort. They come to those who understand that life's greatest rewards are rarely immediate, but are the product of steadfastness, focus, and resilience. Think about it. How often do we see people quit just before they are about to achieve a breakthrough? How often do we give up when progress is slow, when the results are not immediate, when the burden feels too heavy to carry? The truth is that what separates those who succeed from those who do not is not talent alone, not luck alone, and not even circumstances alone. It is the ability to endure, to persist, and to remain disciplined in the face of adversity. Success favors the patient, the consistent, and the persistent. It is the ability to keep moving forward, even when every part of you wants to stop, that determines who rises and who falls. Patience is more than simply waiting. It is an active, engaged process. It is the ability to continue working, learning, and growing, even when the outcome is uncertain. It is the ability to carry your burdens without losing hope, to face challenges without surrendering, and to keep faith in Allah's wisdom while you continue to act with discipline. Patience transforms waiting into preparation, struggle into strength, and hardship into opportunity. It allows us to endure difficulties with grace, to rise above frustration, and to maintain clarity of purpose, even when life feels chaotic or unfair. Consider for a moment the example of a person pursuing a long-term goal. Be it as building a career, mastering a skill, or improving their life in a meaningful way. The journey is not easy. There are setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. At times, it feels as though the effort outweighs the results. But the person who perseveres, who remains disciplined, and who trusts Allah while continuing to act consistently, eventually reaches their goal. It may take time, it may require sacrifices, and it may demand patience beyond what they initially thought possible. Yet, when the breakthrough comes, it is far more meaningful because of the struggle, discipline, and patience that preceded it. Relief, therefore, is not the absence of effort or struggle. It is the product of perseverance combined with trust. When we face life's challenges with patience and discipline, we prepare ourselves to receive the blessings that Allah has promised. Every act of persistence, every disciplined choice, every moment of faith in the midst of difficulty brings us closer to the ease, the success, and the fulfillment that is waiting for us. The more we endure, the stronger we become, and the more capable we are of handling the blessings that follow. We must also understand that patience and persistence are not passive, they require action. Relief comes not to those who wait idly, but to those who move forward with intention, who act consistently, and who persevere despite obstacles. This is where discipline intersects with patience. Discipline ensures that our actions are aligned with our goals, focused, and productive. Patience ensures that we maintain faith, endure challenges, and continue to act even when progress is slow or results are delayed. Together, they create a powerful combination that allows us to navigate life with resilience, purpose, and confidence. Many people fail to realize that the path to relief and success is rarely smooth. Life is filled with trials, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. But these challenges are not meant to stop us. They are meant to strengthen us. Every burden we endure, every obstacle we overcome, and every moment we persist despite difficulty, builds our character, sharpens our focus, and prepares us for the greater opportunities that lie ahead. Relief comes not to the impatient, but to the steadfast. Success comes not to those who give up easily, but to those who continue moving forward, step by step, with trust in Allah and commitment to disciplined action. Another important aspect of this principle is understanding the role of faith. When we trust Allah, we recognize that our efforts are never wasted, that every act of discipline and perseverance has value, and that He sees our struggles and will guide us to what is best. Trust allows us to endure difficulties without despair, to act with focus without fear, and to continue striving even when the outcome is uncertain. Faith gives meaning to our efforts, and it transforms our struggles into opportunities for growth, refinement, and eventual relief. It is also essential to recognize that relief and success often come in ways we do not expect. Sometimes, the resolution of our struggles is not immediate, dramatic, or obvious. Sometimes, it comes gradually, quietly, and almost imperceptibly. But if we remain patient, disciplined, and focused, we eventually recognize the impact of our persistence. What once seemed impossible becomes possible. What once felt unbearable becomes manageable. What once seemed out of reach becomes attainable. The key is to trust the process, trust Allah's timing, and remain steadfast in our effort. Consider the power of incremental progress. Every step you take toward your goal, every moment of discipline, every act of perseverance compounds over time. Relief may not arrive immediately, but each consistent action brings you closer. Just as a farmer plants seeds and nurtures them over months before the harvest, our efforts must be cultivated with patience and discipline before the results are visible. The harvest is inevitable if we remain committed, even when it seems distant or delayed. We must also understand that setbacks are not failures. They are part of the journey. Every obstacle, every difficulty, and every challenge is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to refine our approach. Those who achieve success are not those who never face setbacks, but those who use setbacks as stepping stones. They analyze, adapt, and continue moving forward. They combine patience, persistence, and discipline, trusting that Allah sees their efforts and will guide them to relief and success in His perfect timing. Another critical aspect of this journey is perspective. Life is not about instant gratification or immediate results. It is about the accumulation of effort, patience, and perseverance over time. Relief and success are not destinations. They are the outcome of disciplined action combined with unwavering trust in Allah. When we view challenges through this lens, setbacks lose their power to discourage us, and burdens become opportunities for growth. We begin to see life as a series of steps, each one meaningful, each one preparing us for the next, each one bringing us closer to the ease and fulfillment we seek. Ultimately, the lesson is simple yet profound. Relief and success are the reward of patience, discipline, and perseverance. They come to those who continue moving forward despite obstacles, who act with purpose even when the path is unclear, and who trust in Allah while maintaining consistent, focused effort. The combination of endurance, disciplined action, and faith transforms struggle into opportunity, difficulty into growth, and burden into eventual ease. It is this understanding that allows us to navigate life with confidence, resilience, and hope. So tonight, I want you to remember this. Relief and success are not for the faint of heart, the impatient, or the inconsistent. They are for those who persevere, who act with discipline, and who trust Allah in every step of the journey. Your fatigue is temporary, your struggles are part of the process, and your consistent effort, combined with patience and faith, will lead you to the ease, the fulfillment, and the success that Allah has prepared for you. Approximately 1,200 words Maintaining a natural, seamless, motivational flow. Deliver speech ***, ensuring smooth transitions and an even stronger overall impact. Do you want me to do that?